Yes. Another.
Okay. Shall we? Sir? All right. All our online and offline audience, good afternoon, senior academicians from various institutes, industry delegates, and alumni, students, and my respected faculty and staff members of Mumbai and Bengaluru. My name is Dr. Rohita Dwivedi, and it is my privilege to welcome you all on this insightful seminar on aligning academia, industry, and future workforce using new age technologies. As a part of immersive global leaders learning series for V Schools international communities, entrepreneurs, professionals, industry connects, alumni, and global academia. At SP Mandali's principal Ellen Wellinger Institute of Management Development and Research, we are deeply committed to nurturing future ready leaders by bridging the gap between academic learning and industry expectations. Our vision of thought leadership and global impact, and our mission to create innovative, ethical, and socially responsible professionals strongly resonate with today's theme. We are honored to have our group director, Professor Dr. Uday Salunke, and Professor V. Kumar with us, both globally renowned thought leaders in their respective areas. As new age technologies redefine the way we learn, work, and lead, today's session promises to offer valuable insights on building meaningful alignment between academia, industry, and the evolving workforce. When I was given to give an introduction on this seminar, I was reminded by a shloka from Rigveda, Ano Badra Kritvo Yantu Vishwata. May the noble thoughts come to us from all directions. With this, I would now proudly introduce before you our group director, Professor Dr. Uday Salunke.
Thanks, Rohita.
Sir, I have to give you an introduction. We have many online viewers. Thank
Keep
you,
it
sir.
brief.
Yes, sir, very brief. If there is one question that defines the future of education today, it is this. Are we preparing students for the world that exists or for the world that is yet to be created? Few leaders in Indian management education have consistently answered this question with as much clarity and conviction as a group director, Professor Dr. Uday Salunke. Sir has not just led an institution, he has reimagined it. At a time when management education was largely conventional, he championed innovation by introducing forward looking programs in the areas like e business, business design, media, healthcare, and rural management well before they became mainstream. What makes his journey particularly inspiring is his ability to bridge worlds, bringing together corporate experience, academic depth, and a global outlook shaped by platforms like Eisenhower Fellowship and associations with leading global institutions.
How long are you going to stay for
I
in the
am
call?
proud to tell you that our sir
So
is
there is an
ACBSP Region
emergency at
10
my
chair.
house. I have to leave early. So I have to get it signed today and give it to.
No, you have time till 28th, right?
Sorry, sir, you're on mute.
Implemented, and there are a lot of the other examples also we learned from VK today. And as placement is a major challenge for all business schools, all institutions in the country, employability rate is a challenge. So today's actually piece would be many other business schools. I'm sure faculty must be there in the kind of this forum, and there's no question of competition among us, but it's a question of how we leverage from learn from each other, from co-creation and co-production point of view. So with this, I'll take a pause, and I'm sure we all are looking forward to VK for today's session. Thank you, VK. Thank you.
So I would also give your introduction.
I need a lot of time for today's
So
talk.
not more than 30 seconds. If there is one transformation that defines modern business, it is this: the shift from intuition-driven decisions to data-driven intelligence. And few scholars in the world have shaped this transformation as profoundly as Professor V. Kumar, a globally renowned marketing thought leader and currently the Goodman Academic Industry Partnership Professor at Goodman School of Business, Canada, Brock's University, Canada. Professor Kumar's work stands at the intersection of academia, analytics, and real-world business impact. What makes his journey truly remarkable is not just the scale of his scholarship, over 300 research publications and dozens of books, but the way his ideas have influenced how organizations think about customers, data, and long-term value. Professor Kumar is widely regarded as a pioneer in customer lifetime value and customer relationship management, helping organizations move beyond short-term transactions to build sustainable data-driven customer strategies. His contributions have earned him global recognition, including induction into the Analytics Hall of Fame and being honored as a legend in marketing. In an era of new age technologies, AI, big data, and advanced analytics, Professor Kumar's research has consistently demonstrated how technology can bridge the gap between academic insights and industry application. He just does not study the future of marketing, he shapes it. And for institutions like V School, his work serves as a powerful reminder that the future workforce must not just be skilled, but analytically empowered and strategically aware. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a true privilege to welcome a global thought leader who continues to redefine how we understand customers, technology, and value. Professor V. Kumar, over to you.
Thank you, Rhythm. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
And I guess the video also would come into this. So
This slide, sir.
yeah, so maximize it, please. Maximize. Okay.
Sharing this over.
It says turn up the volume. No. So. Hello, good afternoon to each of you. Good afternoon. Yeah, to the online and the other YouTubers watching. It's really a great honor and privilege to be in front of you to give this talk, which is something that didn't happen overnight. It's a process that has been happening, but captured in the last few days, this journey, what has really transformed in this world, and how to bring it to an audience and make them buy this transformation, accept this transformation. And so a lot of talks will be about challenging your conventional wisdom. And at the end, you might say, I disagree with you. That's okay. You have the right to disagree. But then I just want to caution you today that you'll be left behind if you ignore the transformation that is happening. And so let's walk through this transformation. And the talk is structured such that we talk about the impetus for transformation, why this transformation is inevitable, and then where these transformations are occurring. And the last part is that how do we manage this transformation? Okay, so all three elements, you would see that. And therefore, with your kind permission, I will start. I know I was supposed to go from 3:30 to 4:45. I've lost 15 minutes already. If I extend your talk by another like 4:45 to 4:55, do not hate me, please. Okay, so I'm giving you a disclaimer first. So the idea of this talk was to see if there is even an alignment between academia and industry and the future workforce. What do you think? I mean, do you think there is a lot of gaps now, what the industry wants and what the academia is offering to them as students, placements, workforce? Is there a gap? Do you hear from the companies that is not ready? That there is a gap. Okay. Now the question is, how do you fill the gap? And your answer would be, let's ask them what they want and we give. The problem is industry itself now is in a situation they are not clear about what they want. That's because everybody's life is controlled by this new age technologies, which is evolving faster than the speed of a comet. And so given this, how do we understand this? So the emerging marketplace, if you look at it, these are the global news. 92 million jobs are displaced by new age technologies globally. In a World Economic Forum report you have, 170 million new tech enabled global jobs by 2030, created 170 million, but new tech enable. And then India's demographic dividend declines, which is the youth, which is our price position in India, is going to be aging population with the birth rate declining. So what now? Because of this, we see the academia curriculum lags the market needs. The industry cannot find the work-ready talent. And then you also have the future workplace, which is they are having degrees which cannot be employed. So what we are saying here is 42.6% of Indian graduates are employable in 2024. That's a poor number. Such a low number. Indian graduate unemployment stands for that age group, 15 to 25, 40%. And I'm not comparing this for comparison's sake, but look at the developed economies. Of course, the population in the US is close to now 350 million, but the unemployment is still like 4.2%. So what do we do? Do we keep pace with the technology here as it's done in the US? So the window is to act now for emerging economies. And our premise is this new age technologies like AI, robotics, drones, which I'll show you what they are. They are not just tools. They're the platforms and which we have to engage. So if you look at this new age technologies, we say that you have artificial intelligence. So can you write this? Yeah, thank you. So when you look at the new age technologies, you have this AI, Gen AI, machine learning, metaverse, IoT, robotics, drones, and blockchain. They compose of all these new age technologies. You have 3 and 2, 5 and 3, 8 of them. And given this era, and we are morphing Gen AI now, we are into agentic AI. And we will walk through that as to what the differences are. But in terms of what new age technologies are doing is they are redefining what work means. From human doing the job to AI assisting the human to doing the job to AI itself doing the job. And that's we have heard from chatbots. It's a classic example. And then GPS, they are all there. AI is themselves doing the job. To what is going to be the future? Even is AI going to develop the curriculum? So we were sitting in the boardroom today having a meeting as to should we infuse AI into every course? Okay. We are talking as if we have control. We have the control we are going to infuse. Watch 5 years from now, AI is going to design the curriculum for you. It's going to say these are the things you need to learn to keep pace with the market. And so that if given that is the vision we are looking at, the NAT enabled or new age technologies enabled alignment you see is the future, is the binding thing. The intersection that I call it as NAT is not a compromise. It is where all these three, the academia, the workforce, and the industry are going to come together or forced to come together because of the power of these new age technologies. So I'm telling you why we three entities have to work together, academia, industry, and future workforce, because it's inevitable. New age technologies are there to guide us. So how do we then navigate this? And we come up with 3 E's. What are the 3 E's? The first E is education, which is the responsibility of the academia. The second thing is experience. And that's what the industry wants. They want relevant experience. And the question is how fast we can upgrade our skills. The third is engagement that you see, which is engaging the workforce. So we call it A as academia, A, I as industry, and W as workforce, engaging the workforce. Engaging the workforce has become the biggest challenge now, given the generational differences and expectations. The lowest, like the youngest generation, loves to work from home because they started their career working from home. They don't know what it is like to go to work and interact. If that is the case, now that is the expectation. They talk about it to their juniors, and this is our life. So how do we manage this? Okay, so that is just one example of what the expectation varies, which everybody knows. But now, how is the education going to change? So our thought process is, first I'll give you a global picture where what is the problem today in the whole world, which is if you look at the Western world, it's a declining enrollment. What does that do to the university or the institution? Declining endowment. The revenue goes down. Then what is the consequence of that? The hiring goes down of talents, both at the faculty and the staff level. So research suffers. So it's a downward spiral. So how do you now get more students? What are the universities doing in the Western world? They are trying to approach the Eastern world, set up campuses here. That's a short-term solution that they are seeing as a viable. But what is the value proposition for somebody enrolling in those kind of programs? Oh, it's a big name school coming in. Is the big name school coming? No. Is Harvard, Duke, Stanford, Chicago coming and setting up campuses here? No. So then what is the value here? And who is going to be teaching in those schools? It's our faculty here or in China, if it is, or in Malaysia, it is the local faculty will be teaching. So given that, what is the value proposition? So that's not the ultimate solution. That is intermediary solution. What is the ultimate solution? The ultimate solution is with the newest technologies, we are going to take education to the doorstep of each and every student, each and every person who wants to get educated. How is that going to happen? Look at, if I say that's going to happen, it's already happening. Here is a personalized learning. Duolingo allows learners to learn at their own pace already. And what we are doing is, me and Kotler, we have done is that we have created our content, put our voice over, our voices, async, and put it on a portal. So anybody who wants a certificate, say, of excellence in AI, Gen AI, logistics, financial services, they can take select modules, go at their own pace, pay the money, and get the certificate signed by us. But we're already there. This is the form of education. How long we wait for anybody to come to us, we have to take it to them. Then you have AI-driven curriculum. This Magic School AI is an all-in-one platform for teachers to generate lessons. It gives you a nice platform to put all your content, rubrics, quizzes. It's like LMS system that you have, except that it's AI based. Immersive simulations and virtual reality and augmented reality. We have SRD's virtual campus in an immersive and metaverse environment, allowing students to create avatars, interact with fellow students, engage in learning. So here's a university already creating a metaverse environment for that. And then in terms of real-time knowledge dissemination, this Mentimeter offers live polling, while Padlet and Miro allows for real-time brainstorming and shared whiteboards. You think, you write ideas from different parts of the world, we combine, we work as a team and develop it. So the education, you see the differences, the examples you see. Are you there right now? Are you there in any one of them? Are you allowing your students to learn at their own pace? No, you have structured class. Are you having a platform LMS such that it's AI based? And then SRD is completely learning experience, everything on metaverse. We had the previous session metaverse. We found what the issues were, and SRD has mastered that, saying that you won't feel lonely there. You will be with your friends, social environment, learning, everything. And then in terms of the last one, live polling and real-time brainstorming, that's where like you have Google Notes that you share today, but physically you put it out there in the cloud and you write and you keep uploading it. But here in real time, you keep interacting and talking to them and creating. So NAT enable continuously adaptive education is not an optional, it's existential, we say. New age technology. And this is most important. See here. Economic Times also quoted, university syllabi often takes years to update while the digital economy evolves weekly. So we had in the board meeting also, we update the syllabus every 2 years, we're saying, but the industry says we are redefining our business every quarter. So even that, there is a lag. But here we are saying weekly basis, this is happening. How are the experiences changing? If you look at Tata Group, our own Tata here, micro internships, 4 to 6 hours, self-paced online program designed to experience the work done at Tata. So before you join, you can have internship, self-paced online program. How great it is. You know, the real world simulated internships. When you go into the shop floor or when you go into the office, this is what you're going to face. And we need to create that. Then work integrated learning, where in University of Sydney is a classic example where the experiential exposure is in physical, virtual or classroom settings. There, they have it very nicely done in a digital format. They offer international students workplace skills training in a digital format so that they can come take campus employment. What is the cultural assimilation that they have to do, as well as knowledge in terms of the local legislation and protocol. Digital twins. This is the future, definitely. You know, you cannot avoid it. Georgia Tech, nicely, they have a curriculum and they have digital twins of the students created, and they test it before they offer it to the students, like how well it works. Pharmaceutical company creates the digital twins of their patients in a hospital and then administer drugs and see how well they react. So digital twins are inevitable, that it is going to be. So all of us will have an avatar of a digital twin that we will share in different environment, or it would have already been created. What is a digital twin? You go to a medical record and they talk about your age, everything, and your reaction, allergies you have, and what are your parameters, health parameters. All of them are there. Your case history notes are there. Using that, they create your digital twin. And then if you are given a drug, if any statin I take, I'm allergic to statin, it'll immediately say that this won't work with you. So you don't have to use them in real world, but just a digital twin. And then we have co-creation platforms also. You have like National Education Lab AI in Netherlands. Innovation is initiated and co-created with schools, the scientific community and the industry. Are we there here right now? Because this is the only way you're going to meet the needs of the industry. Let's work together to find the talents here. So we say 1 million plus specialized AI professionals needed in India by 2026. Are we there? Our population is there. Are we training them the right way? Then how is the workforce being engaged? Look at Turnitin Draft Coach. It guides the students through the writing process and offers feedback aligned with academic standards. Here, again, earlier we had Velinka students come and say how they use the AI tools to augment their performance. Right now, they are using the tools to augment their performance. Very soon, they'll use the tools to learn also, from the basics. So it's a step-by-step process agency, purpose-driven learning, Notebook LM. That's a big transformation, Notebook LM. You take a text, put it inside that, it comes as a podcast. It teaches you and explains to you so well. So every chapter, quantum physics, for many people, it is tough subject. Take a chapter, put it out there. It'll nicely discuss and say, what is this? What is this? You will understand it like nobody. So if the education is going there, and this tool is one of the tools that is explaining Notebook LM, it's got its limitations, but it'll expand. But so that is purpose-driven learning that you have. And then self-directed growth paths, learn your way. I'm going to say what I want, when I want, at what pace I want. And that is what it is. So when you work in an organization today, the expectation is algorithmic management is the word that is used. Algorithmic management. Your performance and everything, your performance and everything is managed by algorithms, AI tool, how well you have done. No humans are evaluating it. Now the question is it good or bad? Oh, human, you can say that you understand me, I had this problem, that problem, so cut me a slack. In the algorithmic management, you're not going to be able to say that. So you prefer human. On the other hand, they say, oh, humans, I don't want, they're biased against me. They don't like me. And so therefore they gave me a poor rating. So you cannot win with human one way or the other. With the algorithm, at least it's set standard. It's not biased. It won't alienate you, assuming it's got no hallucination or any issues, cleaned up. So the workforce expectation itself is varying. So how do we manage this workforce with this kind of purpose-driven learning that they have, self-paced growth that they want to set up, and how they learn, the tools that they want to learn and use. So our job now is to deliver the 3 E's with the help of new age technologies. So what do you see here? You see the intersection of future workforce, academia, and industry is bounded by new age technologies. So here is where we had to create knowledge, starting with transformative education. How education is going to transform. Then once we understand that, set the parameters, then let's go into the functional areas. We are in business school. How marketing is going to transform. How operations, how branding, how strategy is going to transform. How leadership is going to transform. So we have each of this as an example we are going to give you. All of them are published, peer-reviewed white papers or books. So you will see that first is this transformative education. And this study just got published with Bharat Rajan here, and Dr. Vivek Garg is in Bangalore. Is got his doctoral degree, executive doctoral degree from ISB. And he runs a conglomerate in Bangalore. They have a school also there, K through 12, like NPS, a National Public School. Their family runs it. So transformative education is something that they are in the forefront. And see the statement we are making. The classroom has no walls. The faculty has got no country. The degree has no single address. You know the profound meaning of this? It takes a while to understand the depth of these 3 statements, which means that you're not going to get a degree from one school. Your degree is going to be given by a certification agency, which will say that these are the requirements for knowing AI skills upgrade. You need to know all these elements. You got one from maybe this professor, another from Coursera, third from somewhere else. This is the model that's going to be happening. And you would see faculty has no country. You will take classes from anybody and everybody was authenticated with blockchain, the content. And the classroom has no walls because you're not in a physical environment. You're in a self-paced environment. But so what do we see here? Here, the transformative education triad is you have educational institutions, you have the learners, students, and the industry, society is the external environment. So those three interact. Now, how do they interact? How do they interact? Because each one influences the other. So if you look at the future learning process, the first one is transformative education in action is dynamic syllabi updated in real time, interdisciplinary integration. So Siemens NX uses AI to track user behavior and predict necessary commands, dynamically rearranging interface elements to optimize user workflows. This is a company doing it. Are we dynamically updating the syllabus to keep pace with them? Absolutely not. Because we define the semester course, we define this is what the next 15 weeks classes are going to be, and we stick to that. In the middle, some innovation comes, we don't adapt immediately. So there itself, to begin with, we are lagging behind. Then the second is this promoting continuum education. You have MIT's digital diploma initiative, issues as blockchain-based diplomas that students can instantly share with employers. I saw a nice demo in Wellinger lab, upstairs design lab with Dr. Kaustubh, showing us. It's phenomenal. They are filed for patent and waiting for that to authenticate each one of this, process, that if somebody uploads the certificate of marks, they apply to a university and they upload the certificates here. They get a hashtag, give the hashtag to the university that they're applying. The university shares the hashtag with this third party. It authenticates immediately. Yes, it is a real certificate, not a fake one. All instantly happening in real time. Maybe it takes 1 second. So you have this kind of work integrated learning. That's what is happening. Lifelong learning is a must. We cannot say, I got a degree 40 years ago, I'm still useful today. You can tell yourself, you may be lucky to have a job with the knowledge that you have 40 years ago, but that is an exception. Strengthening self-learning. So InfiVR specializes in metaverse for training. So you want to be a welder, you go through the metaverse and practice how to be a welder without actually going to the shop. You want to do a surgery, you can do it in metaverse first. The doctors can practice on the cadaver and then go in and actually do it, rather than doing it with someone, even if it is a cadaver. So this is the world we live in, self-learning at a pace. Multiple times you make mistakes. There's no consequence for that because it's metaverse. So that is the way you learn perfection, with a self-learning pace. Some will do it in one iteration, some will take. So learning is occurring this way, not on real people in real time. This is where the technology is coming, digital native. For this to happen, we have to change ourselves. The universities have to know. This is our suggestion, which is when you say suggestion, this is what we are giving it as a solution. University as a platform from a location-based service provider, which is Matunga Wellinger. It has to become a platform-based internationalization. So the first is, what does that mean? It's a traditional pipeline. You act as a location-bound provider within a traditional pipeline. The university is a fixed entity delivering content in a sequential manner. We will contrast that, okay? And it consists of a traditional pipeline: content design, course delivery, degree granting. Now, what is the transformation? The transformation, it acts as an ecosystem orchestrator, facilitating collaboration and value co-creation. This is where they work with the industry to develop the content. They work with the students to get immersive training, and then they place them. And then shift to a multi-actor ecosystem. No longer there is this one faculty saying that I'm going to give you all this, multiple actors coming in. And we have in the article a lot of examples of how they have to come together. I have shorter time. I need to show you 6 applications of transformation where they are occurring. So if you feel I am rushing, pardon me, but I just want to give you this as a teaser so that you want more, and they are all available publicly in terms of these white papers. But we can also have an extended talk. So what are the key characteristics of university as a platform? As we said, it's an ecosystem orchestrator where the university connects all these stakeholders and AI agents on a shared value creation platform. And then there's multi-sided interactions, learning, credentials, experiences, everything is co-developed by multiple participants. First, there is a platform on which these stakeholders are there. Second, they interact. And third, the technology is being used, enable personalized learning, modular content. So what the technology does is the content is there. Or based on who you are, you package what you want to learn or what you want to upgrade your skills on, and then put the package together, go at a self-paced learning. Once you finish it, the blockchain will authenticate that you completed, issue a certificate. So that this is where you have, and beyond a portal or LMS, because this is not a website or an app, it's a strategic business model. We say that leverages digital tools to create network effects, and it's a flexible configuration. When you want to study, where you want to study, how you want to study is up to you. You say this 1 week, I broke up with my boyfriend, I want to take a break, that's fine. Nobody's going to say you're missing classes. So how luxury that is. So consistent borderless quality. It can also be I broke up with my girlfriend also, you can say. So consistent borderless quality. That is, there is no border. And the education for the first time travels from one country to another country without any additional cost. You have to understand the value of this. The education that is traveling from one country to another country at no cost. It's all on the platform. And so that is a big thing, big transformation that is occurring. And the monetization is at the individual level and so on. So that is what the education is happening. What is transformative marketing? How marketing is getting transformed? So from here, the next 4 or 5, you see all me and Dr. Kotler did it together. And some I started the journey, how marketing is going to transform. And that's our book that me and him, which is out now, where we advocate that AI cannot do things alone. Humans cannot do things alone. They have to work together to give maximum insights, to give the best benefit. They have to work together. And we showcase how they can work together with respect to 8 technologies that you saw, new age technologies, for 5 or 6 marketing functions consistently in each chapter. Okay, so marketing has always followed the customer. For the first time, technology has gotten there first. So that is where the difficulty is now. So how do we do this? So first, let's understand what is transformative marketing. It's the usage of new age technologies and human insights. Remember, I'm saying both new age technologies and human insights to revolutionize how businesses and customers interact. So how the two parties, firms and customers, interact, creating more personalized and immersive experiences. So you need businesses and customers, you need new age technologies to facilitate, and human insights are added on to that to deliver superior value offerings to all stakeholders. What is an example of this 5 or 6 marketing functions we do? First thing in the transformative marketing is personalization. Everything has come to who you are. Nike by You allows users to design their own shoes, offering a personalized product and experience. So, and I'm just showing that the shoes I'm wearing, it's very similar concept, but it's very rarely found in every country. It's a famous brand, but very convenient shoes. It starts with the letter C. Huh? The second letter is A. Camper. Yes. Camper. CAMPER. So you have to really design, you wear this and see how comfortable you are, and they give you in a lot of variations for the same size. If my size is say 10.5, they give you like broad feet, then higher Achille, so heels, personalized configuration they give you, and you can wear it. Or you can go to Nike by You and design, custom design, because Camper is there already with this multiple thing. They have understood the marketplace, how things vary based on the demand and feedback, and they produce. Predictive intelligence. Zara, fast fashion. You look at what they forecast Q demand with such precision that they sell 85% of the inventory at full price compared to the 60% industry average. How is that possible? Why is Zara so popular? They are able to really understand this fast fashion. There's another company in fast fashion in jewelry, Alex and Annie, ALEX and ANI. That's a Canadian company, but North America, very popular worldwide. It is there. It's an online company. There's no retail store. Alex and Annie, online. The way they predict the fast fashion, like Valentine's Day, Feb, by November, they would have figured out what the trend is going to be for Valentine's Day and source it from China or Korea, Thailand, produce it, ship it, and they sell out everything. How are they able to predict the demand? So, and again, the leadership takes the credit. Okay, so here we have Zara CEO or Alex and Annie CEO. They're all like doing the right thing. And then innovation, you have Lego. Lego is just a bunch of pieces, toys. But the beauty of magic with them is that, either you can physically put together the pieces, or you can do it digitally, these pieces, but you create a product, end product. And if many people like it, they start producing that. So customers became the co-creator. They become the research and development wing. And marketing is become so easy because customers created the demand for the product through the design. Then you have efficiency, you have Diageo, Johnny Walker. You have the famous brand. Uses AI-based optimization tools for deciding all these budgets, eliminating media spend. So they track where the drinks are, their brands of drinks are getting sold. You're okay? Okay, thank you. So they track where the product is sold and what season, and accordingly they keep adjusting the marketing budgets to that in real time. So this is a unique AI application to create efficiency, where to spend, when to spend, how much to spend on their products, different brands in real time. That's a luxury, so that they do this. And then competitive advantage. Warby Parker glasses, phenomenal. You used to send multiple pairs and you try it, whatever you like, keep it, remaining you send it back to. Now, with AI based online in the immersive experience, you can wear those glasses, you can see how you look, and then decide what you want to buy. And yet, you don't like it, you can always return it. By offering directly to consumers through an online try at home model, to now they have become pretty much interactive, AI interactive. So the NAT enabled organization, if you have a case spotlight, this is what Dr. Uday was saying. Look at one company, Amazon. They have implemented all the 8 new age technologies. They use IoT for product movement, integrate devices and data collection. They use robots in the warehouse to move the products. They use drones for delivery. They use AI and machine learning to model consumer preferences. They use blockchain to authenticate their products. Amazon has got a very nice model. I don't know how many of you really studied this. There is some concept called fulfillment by Amazon. I don't know how many of you heard this, fulfillment by Amazon. Every seller wants to get into this FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. Why? Because if they get into the good list, FBA is a good list of the sellers, then the buyers, when they order, it gets shipped from Amazon directly, as opposed to it getting shipped from the seller. Do you attribute like perception differences between if it is shipped by a seller versus Amazon? If you say yes, that is what is consumer perception. So every seller wants to get into fulfillment by Amazon. And how do you get into that? That is a new model we have created. And that is a study that we completed and sending it out. But this is what Amazon's sellers who are dealing with Amazon is asking us this question. How do we get into FBA? What are the drivers? What are the products? What are they looking for? So for that, you need to analyze all the products that are in the fulfillment. Is it just the product movement? Is it just the demand? It's just not the demand. It's the rating. It's the complaints. It's the product return. It's a multitude of factors that you put it together. So again, here is Amazon as one company mastering the 8 new age technologies, at one time. And through AI, they enhance user interaction and personalization. Let's go to branding. How branding is transforming. A simple question to you. Here also, this study again, me, Kotler, and Bharat here, we just got it accepted. It's still forthcoming. I know you put 2026. Yes, it's forthcoming in 26. Ideally, we should have put forthcoming. So what is the issue here? Let's take Google. Let's take Microsoft. Let's take Amazon, OpenAI. What are their AI products? What are they known for, these companies? If you have to list them as companies, which industry they are in? Which industry? Google, Apple, Amazon. The 2 letters. IT industry. You would say it's IT industry, isn't it? Google, everybody. So why Google, such a prominent IT company, named their AI product as Google Gemini? Why OpenAI is naming theirs as ChatGPT? Why Microsoft is labeling their AI product as Copilot? Why are they naming up when they are already great IT companies? Versus you have Target, Costco, Walmart. They introduced their AI product for personalization, customization. They don't name their AI product. What should be happening? Who should be actually naming and promoting their product? Who is not known for IT? Costco, Target, Walmart. They're not known for IT. They are introducing an IT product, AI product. They are the ones who are supposed to communicate to the customers, trust my product. Here is, you can brand it. Why do products get branded? Because that way you communicate the brand value proposition, you create trust. But it is the opposite that is happening. The IT companies are branding their product, AI, and non-IT companies are not doing it. This was the question asked, and we went into answering that question. I don't know, but it took maybe 2.5, 3 years for us to develop this study. And the question is, to brand or not to brand is the new age technology dilemma playing out in every boardroom. So first of all, let's understand why any product that is based on new age technologies are hard to brand. Why is that anything that is powered by AI is hard to brand? Look at first point. There are 5 reasons, 5 or 6. First is rapid technical volatility. Meaning anytime you use any of these 8 new age technologies, there is technical volatility. Look at Google Glass. It came up with so much fanfare, but it failed. That's because if you look at it, the prototype was released for $1,500 even while the product was being developed, making it costly for Google to fix early bugs, manage developer feedback, and handle hardware failures. First is rapid technical volatility. Second, multiple audiences. If you have a NAT-based product and it is catering to multiple audience, like in the case of IBM Watson, we have the developers, partners, and users, then they're all calling that product as something else. As a user, I want IBM Watson, I want it to play chess with me, so that I can interact with it. So I call it something else. As a developer, they want it to be the engine. So the form they are giving to a product, IBM Watson and AI tool itself, expectations are varying. So it causes confusion. So you cannot brand it. Ecosystem, because once you brand it, it has a value proposition. You need to stick to that. Like BMW, you would say the ultimate driving machine. You say that, but you cannot say it's the innovation engine for one stakeholder, ultimate driving machine for the consumer. It'll cause confusion. Okay. The third is ecosystem dependence, Hyperledger. Here, Fabric acts as a secure backbone while APIs and integration make the backbone useful and accessible. So the ecosystem is critical. You need something to tie everything to work together. So ecosystem dependence. Apple, if you take, here's another question to you. Why Apple is so successful? If you look at market share for phones, Samsung worldwide has got the largest market share. Apple is second. But if you look at the cross-sell Apple, why Apple is able to have a customer who has got an Apple phone, iTunes, Apple iPad, Apple AirPod, Apple Tag, Apple Watch. We can do so many. Why is that they are successful? Nobody says, I have a Samsung watch, Samsung tablet, Samsung AirTag. Why is that? Exactly. Now you answer the ecosystem. Beautiful. This is what it is. This is the dissertation of one of my students who just graduated from ISB, again in the executive doctorate program, EFPM. His name is Dr. Murali Krishnan. Until last year, he was the CEO of Xiaomi India for 10 years. He was the Xiaomi India. So his dissertation where I was working with me was this ecosystem, why Apple is successful. So this ecosystem, I'm giving that as one example of an ecosystem dependence, but in many categories, products fail. This rapidly evolving NAT-based products fail because there's no ecosystem support or dependence. We have to go to the grassroots and see how Apple nicely did that. Okay. Then heightened regulatory risk. Waymo, self-driving car, brands itself as the world's most experienced driver. There's an explicit claim that carries a high risk. Waymo, I don't know how many of you should honestly raise your hand. How many of you will be willing to sit right now in a driverless car and say, take me to this thing? You have to just sit, it'll just drive. Not in Mumbai. No. But you see, I also didn't lift my hand. If you go to China, it's pretty much in Wuhan, all the taxis are driverless cars. You go to Phoenix, Arizona, all of it is pretty much taxis or driverless. You have this. But the idea is still we have not formed the trust with that because we feel that it carries a risk. The technology is not perfected. So branding it becomes a failure. Then the brand becomes a failure. Then different monetization. How can you monetize a product? And, you look at ChatGPT. What did they release yesterday? 5.5. So what is the price you got to pay? I just signed up for all this ChatGPT Plus. Now you got to upgrade. You have to do all of this. So constantly it's evolving because it's tough to get it right. And so how can you brand it? And now they got into the trap, ChatGPT. How do they get out of it? By calling it 1.5, 1.52, 2.53, 5.5. That's not branding strategy. But they cannot come out of it, So if you see this, so how does the NAT branding decision work? So if you look at what are the decisions one has to make, whether to brand first, and second question is when to brand. Okay, I'm going to brand, whether this is the right time to brand, and then how to brand, the third one, delivering process and governance. So these are the three decisions for products based on new age technologies. And if you look at the future, Majority of the products are going to be NAT-based products. And the biggest problem you're going to have is, I should brand it or not brand it. So all those traditional branding knowledge that you learn has gone out of the window. This is something new that you have to face it. So if you deep dive into whether to brand, look at branded NATs, a technology capability that an organization deliberately gives a distinct external identity, like ChatGPT, with an active brand strategy, messaging channel, and influencing. Whereas unbranded, it remains a technological capability, like Costco, what they have as an AI tool, that remains embedded, unnamed, or only internally deployed to enhance the parent product, which is Costco, or corporate brand, Walmart, without being the primary indicator of external messaging. So unbranded and branded, you see that the branding decisions are strategic, how you're going to do it. Because once you brand it, you got to invest money. But once you invest, and if it constantly morphs into something else, fails, then all the money is gone wasted. So that is the question, whether to brand. And then when to brand is where have you reached a maturity or steadiness stage? Here, you highlight the readiness triggers that justify a move. So if you look at the continuum, your branding, favorable branding and ad is a standalone identity, is justified when technology will itself be a primary focus of value. Would you be willing to pay just ChatGPT what it does? Perplexity or cloud? They are all varying abilities, capabilities, and they charge different amounts. So you're willing to pay. You might have your personal preferences for what it is. The technology itself stands alone and you pay. Okay. So transitional context. So this is the answer. We talked about, isn't it? Why Microsoft is introducing Copilot. Because they feel that this technology alone can be monetized. And although Copilot Plus, or whatever they add, or numbers, they feel the technology itself will be a primary locus of value. And that's why, we have to answer the question we asked, why do they brand and others don't? So in the transitional context, a dynamic middle path where branding acts not as a binary, but as an adaptive process. And then embedding an ad within the corporate or product brand is advisable when the technology functions primarily as an invisible enabler, which is what Costco, Walmart, and all is doing it. So how do you want to monetize this technology, or you want to use that as an enabler? So that answers when to brand. And then how to brand, you have to come up with 3 parameters, which is market readiness, ecosystem and technology fit, and organizational credibility. So this is a research done, and what we are presenting is the outcome of the study, studying organizations. What is happening, why they failed, why they succeeded, talking to managers, customers, then whether and when branding and ad is strategically advantageous. So you have 3, and we score each of the NAT-based product on these 3 parameters and come up with a score of 0 to 30. When you have 0 to 30, we call that a stage gate approach. And then if the score is very high, you're ready to brand. When the score is like 0 to 10, 11, then you're not ready to brand. And the scores come from, are you market ready? Do you have the ecosystem technology fit with the marketplace? And then do you as an organization have credibility? And so we have several items we create and then give you the blueprint as to whether to brand, when to brand, and how to brand. And good NAT branding would look like this. They would have a differentiated positioning. They would build trust. It will have like SpaceX image as a space exploration pioneer, attracts the right audience for the brand. User adoption. You have DJI drones are branded as enablers of creativity and freedom. Fantastic product, that one. Then humanizing technology. SoftBank's a Pepper robot. In Japan already, people, you might know this already, like they don't want to marry. They just want to be with a robot. It's less painful, but a great partner. It'll listen to what they say, and they are very happy. So already a population of 120 million, shrinking faster than any other country, because technology is substituting humans for them and values and responsibility. Google promotes its AI technology as AI for everyone, ensuring responsible. So good branding would look like this. If you go to transformative operations, again, me and Kotler, we develop this as a market management where we say efficiency is no longer a cost story. It's a capability story. You don't want to produce more at a less price. Can you first produce this product is the question. And that's where the technology is coming in. So what are some of the companies that have successfully transformed their operations? For that, you need to understand what is transformative operation. It is the transformation of organizational systems, resources, and processes using new age technologies to improve business functions that can generate again superior value for all stakeholders, superior value offerings for all stakeholders. Here is Kraft Heinz. The three pillars of transformative operations are agility, efficiency, and scalability. These three are mandatory, and this new age technology product will have to produce. Look at what Kraft Heinz, a consumer product company, they have agility, increase in sales, 30 million and 42% reduction in operator alerts in their manufacturing location. So multifunctional parts, Azure, artificial intelligence and IoT supply chain controls 85 product categories. You have efficiency. JetBlue uses chatbots to communicate with their customers. Whatever be the time of the day, it doesn't matter. And very nicely customized. They saved 73,000 agent hours. And look at 280 is the average chat seconds, average chat duration reduced, which is approximately close to 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes to 5 minutes. If you are saving conversation that much, you are disposing of a customer with their queries by chatbot, you are able to do a lot more. And JetBlue is quite successful. Scalability, if you look at Helsing and Saab, say AI signal processing company with hardware sensors, they are able to have strategic investment raise $75 million and then $1.5 billion in valuation. Sudden escalation of valuation, scalability, just because two people combined with different skill sets. One with signal processing, another is hardware sensors. They joined hands, they were able to do that. This is what is happening in the operations. If you focus on retail operations, product movement, supply chain, which is the biggest problem in the world with the war going on, global disruption in supply chain. So what is happening to manufacturing? What is happening to manufacturing? There are three things happening. Usually a decision for a manufacturer is, do I offshore? Do I reshore? Then what is the third one? Inshore, you have, but brand shore, friend shore. No, but there is a third company, like offshore is taking it outside, reshore is bringing back to your own country. But Ford is setting up instead of US in Canada. No, Ford is setting up. You have offshore, onshore, or we call it offshore, reshore, and multi-shore, which is like you go to another country and set it up because of the advantages that they produce. Canada produces a lot of advantages for auto manufacturers because it's easy to ship to US. Forget the tariff issue right now, but till now it's easy to ship to, and you find the workforce, right workforce, trained workforce there also in the auto industry, and the labor cost is very similar or lower than US. There is no disruption in the global supply chain because you don't have to produce in China and import it here. That's why Toyota and Honda are setting up manufacturing units in the US. But how do these triggers to transformations occur? You're wondering, what is transformation? You define why I have to deal with this transformation, whether it's branding or operations or marketing. And if you look at, there are three elements to that. First is this tension of uncertainty. Every time, like, what do I do? Jeff Immelt is a classic example of like every decision the business unit has to take. What do we do? Because there are multiple business units. the decision taken to adopt a technology in one unit, will it work with the others? Similarly, Nike's consumer direct acceleration strategy created revenue volatility. So they re-engage with partners to maintain market reach. Consumers direct acceleration strategy. How can you sell more directly to consumers? You have to reach them first. So that's why they have to go back to the partners. Adaptive capabilities, like how all this AI-based computer is able to treat with digital twins cancer treatment, that without actually playing with their lives. So here we have oncology at Memorial Sloan Kettering, refines treatment recommendations based on AI-based products, which is creating digital twins, and operational elasticity, meaning if I use this technology, I can really scale up faster, efficient, cheaper, and better quality. So if I can answer that, that's what we call it as operational elasticity. So these three triggers, whenever you find anywhere, do you find that in academia today? Absolutely yes. Because the knowledge that we need to impart is changing. There is uncertainty. What is good for today is not good for tomorrow. And then operational elasticity. Can you scale it up to offer this to everyone? Yes, you have to just go async online, voiced over. But there are methods available for transformative, way to work. So how does it work? With these three triggers, we have multiple tools either working by itself, idiosyncratic, or they work together, like drones and robots work together in warehouse. So that is synergistic shift. Whatever be it, there is transformative operations, giving rise to this hyper automation and decentralizing supply chains. You reinforce learning, and then you have other barriers to adopting that you overcome. So this is the operations of manufacturing floor will have to transform itself in terms of, what is that they want, which is the outcome you see there. What are the barriers? How to overcome the barriers is provided. And then you keep going in a cycle to learn. So this is another transformation that works. So here, who is great at hyper automation? You have Amazon, Sequoia inventory system, and Proteus autonomous mobile units perform routine tasks that enabling employees to concentrate. This is Amazon is the one company uses all the 8 NATs, and here they're showcasing here 2 of the NATs, their AI tool and robotics, enabling employees to concentrate on more significant. Augmented decision making. P&G employs AI to develop digital sense. That combination of different things, how will the perfume smell like? So digital scents are very popular. There was a time when you can have a printer and print your own scents, but that became prohibitive in cost. So it died, the technology. They could never bring it to affordability level. So P&G is able to use AI to develop, accelerate product development. And then Everledger, here it tracks electrical vehicle battery recycling to promote sustainability. So all these things are possible with the newest technology. The last one is the strategy. Again, this with Kotler and another professor from France. This talks about these strategies are there. Why strategies are failing? It's very disruptive question. That's the way I want to say why. Because you will see companies that are adopting these technologies faster. And you are seeing some other companies adapting strategies faster. But don't you think they have to go hand in hand? And very few companies do that. So here is our revelation. If you look at what is transformative strategy, again, we say here it's an adaptive, technology-driven approach using all these 8 technologies to create highly personalized, data-driven, and immersive strategy. You have this definition. The idea is to create automation, consumer intelligence, real-time insights to drive customer engagement, business growth, and competitive advantage. So the 3 outcomes that we want from this transformative strategies are better customer engagement, business growth, and competitive advantage, so that we are able to be the leader in the marketplace or able to be profitable in the marketplace. If you look at, again, key objectives of these transformative strategies, first is personalization and engagement. Sephora is a classic example using its Beauty Insider program and mobile app to blend digital and physical worlds. How successful they are. You see the story, you want to go in there and you use the Beauty Insider tool, and you would see that, okay, how do I look with this lipstick? I just put my face and try every makeup without actually putting on my skin. And so that is helpful. Leverage data for smarter decision making. JP Morgan Chase's Coin platform uses ML to review complex legal contracts, extracting critical details in seconds. And I saw here with Dr. Kaustubh's product also, he has taken Supreme Court's some of the decisions. Sorry? No, yeah, you developed or worked with your team to develop that. They're taking the cases and the outcomes, and then backend trained AI tools to predict if there was a motor accident case in the future with a person earning this much income, age, and family structure, what should be the compensation given? So that's an AI tool like that they have here for contracts, complex legal contracts. Then you have BMW here, integrate NATS. Use of digital twin allows them to reconfigure factories 30% faster than competitors and launch new EV faster. So BMW is very unique. Yes, sir. Okay, so thank you. I mean, that's a great thing. I really saw the demonstration of that. It's wonderful to see that, and he was kind enough to take me to the lab and demo each and every product of his. So what BMW does is they have something called Innovation Lab. For the last almost 15 years, they used to bring 200 users every day and say that play with the configuration of the dashboard and the composition of the car, adjust it the way you want. At the end of the day, they will see out of this 200 is there consensus among some patterns converging. And over time, what they will do is they'll take track of this and produce the car based on the design. Today, you don't have to do that. They have the digital twin. You have this kind of preferences. Suppose you switch to EV vehicle, what kind of configuration we should have? We have already tracked who you are, because when you go there, you give personal information. And so that is where it's faster. And Adobe's is cloud-based subscription model that Creative Cloud led to a market cap of over, but then their market value nosedived, and the CEO has to resign now, is stepping down. Shantanu Narayan has to step down. But they're a classic example of identifying the right product, couldn't monetize their product well. So if you look at what I was saying, the problem in strategy, why companies are failing, this is the problem. There are 4 quadrants here. Some companies are rapidly adopting the strategy. Some companies are rapidly adopting the technology, but there are only like 1 quadrant where there is a match, which is game changers. They are faster in adapting technology as well as in strategy. Netflix. Worldwide, they scaled, although this quarter they got a beating in their bottom line and top line. But otherwise, classic example of identifying content worldwide, mastering and getting more subscribers, faster adoption of technology to understand consumer preferences. Legacy anchors or JCPenney, that's why they are dying. They are neither adopting technology nor strategy. And then you have Red Bull faster in strategy and IBM faster in technology, lagging behind. So they also took a beating, but they will move. So are these static places? No. We say that you can move. All you have to do is improve agility. You can go from legacy to tech-centric. You greater investment in digital infrastructure, you can go from mavericks to game changers. Like similarly, if you want to go from tech-centric to game changers, technological uplift and additional investment in real-time analytics. And similarly, if you want to go from legacy anchors to mavericks, technology-led innovation initiatives, implementing a Gen AI, today agentic AI are adopting. So we give specific prescription for companies as to how to navigate from one quadrant to the other quadrant. What is the tool that you need? What is the strategy you have to put in place? And then you peacefully move. And so it's not only identifying where they are, but where they should be and how to get there. So if you look at the aligned future, which is what the purpose of this is a wrap up. I'm wrapping it up here. in the next couple of slides, which is what the alignment looks like before new age technologies. We had three siloed actors: academia, industry, and future. Academia will do the teaching, workforce will get trained, they'll go, and industry will hire. There's no conversation. Current curricular lag market realities, and graduate hold degrees without matching skills. And industry is still waiting for ready talent that never arrives. Now, after this NAT-based alignment, we have a networked ecosystem driven by NAT, because the content is going to be produced by the three parties engaging, produce work-ready, future-proof graduates, because there is no classroom wall, there is no one institution providing the degree, and the faculty is no one faculty all over. Industry gains active co-creators of knowledge, and academia earns relevance, reach, and revenue. So you become your individual marketer. So if you want to do research in this area further to understand this better, we talk about for academics where your next publication is, for practitioners what to fund. Many industry people are attending this. Take a look at this. You got to fund to be a co-creator of this, and students, future students, what to expect. So we have few research questions here populated. Like, are there additional actors that should drive the alignment? Would these alignment drivers vary across continents? What institutional factors amplify or inhibit moderators? How does NAT integration, piecemeal or system-wide, moderate the alignment outcomes? Completely integrated, somewhat integrated, not integrated? Then what feedback mechanism sustains the alignment? And finally, how should the governance involve? So these are profound questions. That is the reason why we put out special issues in California Management Review, as well as Journal of Academy of Marketing Science, and few more journals that are coming. All will have special issues. We want answers to these type of questions. How NAT, new age technologies, is transforming any business function, operation strategy. We have given you a snapshot of what it is. Think of it as the first article in each of this topic, but not the last. More to be done, more impactful work needs to be done. And if you look at why you will find trouble, first, there are barriers, cultural resistance, starting with our own faculty. Why should I learn more? I'm going to retire next year or 2 years from now. I don't want to learn anything new. Or I just joined. I learned all these things. I need to put that into use. So first, resistance. Second, data privacy issues. I don't want to share anything. Third is workforce displacement fears. As it is happening. But what people don't realize is with AI assisted jobs, you can work more remotely from home than in the office if you upskill yourself, because you can do everything. And then that adoption costs, today it might be high, but it is rapidly coming down with all the AI chips. Multiple entities are producing it, so the cost will come down. So the barrier is not technology. Okay, the barrier is not technology. It is how we respond to these technologies. So I just want to stop with this, like academia, stop designing curricula for yesterday's jobs, start building platforms, stop waiting for work-ready graduates, industry, start co-creating them with the institution and brand that effort, and stop crossing. This is very important for workforce. Stop consuming education passively, start building your ecosystem by signing up at multiple places, self-paced learning, upgrading your skill set. Do I have to say this? It's not in any one space. It is the space they share. Thank you. I had a lot to say, but I try to manage it in this time. As I said, 10 minutes more. So I stuck to that, but I am the one who will engage with you a lot more passionately. So write to me whenever you have time, whatever you want to do, we'll have nice conversation and potentially research one of these days.
Thank you, sir. We are now open for questions. We're also tracking the questions on our YouTube channel and the Zoom link. So maybe few questions, sir, with your permission, we can take 10 minutes. Yes. So we have some, yes, sir. So would you be here taking the questions? Yes, sir, please go ahead.
I request first give a chance to online questions.
All right.
Come here. And maybe other than our faculty, maybe our friends there from the outside would be better.
So I think we will take one offline. In the meanwhile, we are opening the chat on the online for questions. Yes, Deshpande sir, over to you, sir.
Yeah, sir, very quickly, sir, I'll come back to the original triangle, this industry, workforce and academia. Now, does it sort of assume, because the question then is, there is a fourth very important actor or a stakeholder here, which also needs to be taken cognizance of. That is the policy apparatus. Okay, either it is regulatory agencies or government or central banks of the day, etc. Now, these are very important because they affect all the three all the time. So is that not an important actor? I mean, we may say everything and very true about the emerging technologies, their impact, their likely implications, etc. But especially in developing countries, unless the policy framework keeps pace with the marketplace and especially technologies, how do you visualize this integration?
Yeah, good point. The question is, what do we have control over? If you have India's national education policy, the policy is set. I don't know for whatever they consulted with you or not, the policy is set. So given the policy, what the three actors can do, that is the way in every country you go, it is the opposite that has happened in the US. We have eliminated the Department of Education. Okay, completely. So there is no policy there. Each one can make their own policy to accommodate. So the assumption here is that your decision to how to work together, the workforce, is bounded by this uncontrollable factor that is out there. But it's worth mentioning in this talk to say that assuming policy, with the policy knowledge, very good points. Thank you.
Dynamism in pace with this.
No, the policy unfortunately lags. Either if you take the NEP policy, what does it say? We want high-class education to Indian students. So foreign universities can set up campuses. But what are they achieving by that? I really have to see the value proposition of that. Why would I send my kid to a school for ABC University from England, setting up campus in Mumbai? Why would I send this? What is the value? Is it education quality? Or is it like brand name of the school, which is not the case? Is it the faculty, foreign faculty coming and teaching? No, they are hiring local faculty. So what is the value proposition? That's the model. There's a lot of questions there with the policy. Whether, can we instead raise our quality to be the international, be the Harvard of the world, and we have the ability, we have the talent here. Can we do that? I believe so strongly.
So we have an industry delegate here for the question.
Yeah, hi. Hi. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session. My name is Kunmon, and I work in the space of human resources. So, sir, my question is a little different. As we know that the new age technologies, they're driving all technical execution. But my question is more on how do you believe that, how do we reconstruct the growth narrative to prioritize meta skills?
What were you doing before?
I have been working in human resources, and before that, I was a student.
No, but even to get the skills, when you say meta skills, do you have programs planned in the organization for upgrading or upskilling talents, any of those?
Not in this organization, but in multiple organizations I've worked. So we work on soft skills. Plus, you add the new age technologies, and you see how both can be married. So my question is, how do you manage these kind of skill sets, which are not, we cannot ignore them because it's needed, it's human. But how do you bring the technology also in this?
We'll see. So I gave an example. Would you prefer you being evaluated by a human boss,
Definitely.
not by an algorithmic boss?
Definitely human boss.
Human boss. Do you want the human boss to be a male or a female?
Doesn't matter, actually.
No, I'm just saying. The question is that you are saying this, isn't it? When we do the study worldwide and ask this question, you get all kinds of answers. That I want the perception, the analysis. Gallup poll says that if you're a woman, they want a male boss. If you are a male, they want a woman boss because they say that there is no competition. There is a theory for that. There's a theory for the opposite also. So the question is the right blend of this meta skills that you as a human, you bring emotions. Can you bring emotions in this new age technologies? The answer is today it is not commercially available. As a technology is there. Emotions. So will your problem be solved if I bring emotions to the new age technologies?
Yeah, I think, but I don't know. At this stage, I don't know how. But like we are also using AI in our everyday work at the space. But what I feel as a human resource, as a HR, is we definitely need human intervention. Because the person who writes, let's say, the prompt or code, definitely.
You say this, but once you shift to that and you see the organization functioning, you would say that, what was I thinking? I see the resistance. That's why we put barriers, cultural resistance, and everything is there. But till you actually experience it, what it is. Because I really want, if you ask me, I want an algorithmic boss. Because I say, what do you want us to do? We want you to teach well, get higher teaching ratings, publish in major journals, scholarly journals, and do all this service. I've done everything. I put it in the algorithmic evaluation. I get 100 out of 100. I go to a human boss and says, well, who is using this article? What are they saying about it? How many citations you have? Are you kidding me? You try to publish here. So you would see the life of algorithmic boss when your job description is precise. Like the parameters for evaluation are set, which is the word we are moving in. Don't be like qualitatively saying, I want you to do the job well. What does well mean? So you have to do this. So have a little bit of, not that you don't have, open mind, be open to saying, but we are getting there. No, it's going to be a flat organization with AI-based tools governing us. No hierarchy. As it is becoming flatter.
Yeah.
So all middle managers are gone. They're being, for lack of other words, asked to leave. But this is what the reality is.
Thank you so much.
But we'll discuss more, right? Because I do a lot of work with HR now. One of the student I'm doing is doing a PhD. She is an executive already, getting her executive doctorate in this workforce identity and their evaluation. The biggest moderator there is algorithmic management. How that is shaping. It is not affecting Gen Z or Alpha, but it is tremendously affecting the baby boomers and Gen X.
Yes.
Saying that they say, I don't want this algorithm. I'm still used to sitting and talking and making my case. No choice. You have no choice. That's what it is. So they all react differently.
Our online viewers, if you have a question, please unmute and ask question to Dr. V. Kumar.
VK, just simple. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, thank you so much. Very insightful session. In fact, we have just started our own business after working for 20 years in corporates.
Okay.
So we are into management consulting and technology and implement service solutions. So we help business. Largely, we work with MSMEs on digital transformation journey. The challenge which we have seen, and I was actually related to it, like we have been working with customers who actually started rapid journey on implementing systems, but other side they fail because their workforce is not enabled or not empowered with those how to use the skill set and everything. The same challenge is being faced for us as well when we are trying to implement the digital transformation journey. So we know it's a step, it takes a long term. But then the question comes is, as a education institution and industry and workforce, if we are bringing all three together, how we are going to align the lower execution guys who are there, who are actually going to work on these platforms? Or see, AI may help me to transform from what I used to do manually. With Claude AI, you can build the transformation tools and help them into a digital process. But the adoption is always a challenge because that workflows is not still up to the mark.
Yeah. Everything has to grow. See, that's what we're saying, that unless you get your act together, we are talking about future here. By 2030, if you are not aligned, you're going to produce workforce that's not usable. That is a problem. And it not only with you, with us, academia, we have to relearn, reskill ourselves. It is a horrid situation. People have to wake up. That's all. I'm telling you, the education, slowly you will see in the next 3 to 5 years, faculty members not having jobs. They have to create their own identity and own.
I know we're working on something like that.
What are you saying, VK? This is the last piece which you're trying to tell me that I don't want to disclose in the morning, but let me do that bit of, Ramsey movie.
No, not that. No. What you missed was that, is my slide still there?
Yes.
The statement I was going to say that this is the future. Please go to my slide. I wanted to see that part alone. Yeah.
So I should get scared now.
Go to the very first slide. The second presentation. Yeah, very first slide. Keep going up. Go up. Not here. Okay. Yeah, this slide. See this transformative education, how our curriculum is going to change. The classroom has no walls, the faculty has no country, the degree has no single address. This is what is the future.
Absolutely.
So we have to be ready for that.
But this is indeed great opportunity, VK.
Actually,
No country. Yeah.
I'm offering you the opportunity. You're
Yes.
not helping me sell the
No,
product
no,
with me in Kotlin.
It will happen now after 6:30 today.
So I was telling him, this is what me and Dr. Kotler have done it, like taken the knowledge, packaged it, taking it to the doorstep of everybody, no walls, nothing, and everybody can learn. And if you speak only Mandarin, you can translate this in Mandarin with an AI tool easily. So no inhibition, no barriers to learn anything.
So, but the corporate world is still organized, I would say. I can understand why, because I was working with a global MNC. It is still organized, it is adaptive to AI and everything, but then this real challenge is lying with the 64 million MSMEs in India. I think I see the examples which are more global. The global practice have to come to India. I think that's.
No, they are in India. The reason I didn't go into too deep Indian example is that they are, everybody can understand the business world, what their pain points, the tools that they are using. You're all using those companies' tools that you're using to do that. But that's where a visionary leader like this, who's connected with the industry, his job is now to make the education relevant now. His job is under pressure than anybody else.
I'll take a minute or two max, but let me share with our friends from the corporate world and our team is aware of, and for our online friends. We always used to say when we did a first hackathon in India in 2014 with MIT, Media Lab, and Harvard people, professors, research associate for 30, that we were telling ourselves that simple definition of education. Education is what you remember after you've forgotten what you memorized very clearly. And I was sharing with my team always, we are sitting in the classroom, not just because AICTE and regulators are saying so. That's fine. But classroom is marketplace. Classroom is nature. That's the way we should look at it. This for the second point, what you mentioned, the faculty has no country. In fact, we school. In fact, we rename ourselves as a we school because we realize maybe in our journey that we definitely should come together, maybe heterogeneous even people. And as you were mentioning, sir, we gone to the IDEO, not today, 2006, which is number one innovation firm in the world. 5-member team was there in US for 5 months, but for 1 month, 5 people. We gone to CCL, Center for Critical Leadership, way back in 2012, which is number one, number two leadership firm in the world. So we told ourselves that don't wait for them to come to us. Nobody will come to you. Get up from your place, get up from your comfort zone. And in Harvard, at least dime a dozen faculties of mine must have done the courses of participant-centered learning, global collective participant learning in Harvard or ITP kind of courses. See, we always believe the significance of IBR is greater than ROI. Investment before returns is greater than ROI. That's why it pumped in. And what you've just now shown, it's a great opportunity, but probably we should come together as a force and look at the global challenges, global problems, and then move forward to the companies, to the universities, to whoever is kind of going to offer. They'll offer you. Goddess Lakshmi will come. Probably we come together and create a company like you. You got hold of one Kotler. Probably our people should catch hold of maybe similar kind of Kotlers. And first, you are there with us. So we will move toward that direction. Thank you. But thanks for showing that slide. Definitely. Yeah.
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you, Nikhil sir. Thank you, sir. As we come close to this insightful seminar, I've been given responsibility to also propose vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our respected group director, Professor Dr. Uday Salunke, for his visionary outlook and constant guidance that continues to shape the ethos of V School. I would also like to extend our sincere thanks to Professor VK for sharing such valuable and forward-looking insights into aligning academia, industry, and the future workforce through new age technologies. Your thoughts have truly been enriching, sir, and with respect to our understanding, and has inspired us to think differently. All our online and offline audience, senior academician from various institutes, students, alumni, esteemed industry delegates, thank you for your participation. A very special note of appreciation to the driving force behind today's seminar, Professor Dr. Ravi Vedi sir, Dr. Deepa Rohit, Professor Bharat Rajan, Dr. Ragini Mohanty, and Dr. Mrinal Falle, whose dedication and meticulous effort made this event possible. Behind the scene heroes, I would like to acknowledge the tireless efforts of our IT, facility, alumni, CMC, ADC, and GDO teams. Your seamless coordination ensured that everything went smoothly today. I would also like to thank our faculty and staff members, both Mumbai and Bengaluru campuses, whose continuous support ensure that such meaningful platforms are created for learning and engagement. With this, we conclude today's seminar on a note of gratitude and inspiration. Vidya Dadati Vinayam. May true knowledge make us more humble for lifelong learning. There is a scan code that we would like to display on the screen now, and requesting all the faculty members and the industry delegates, even people who are attending online, to please scan and give us a feedback. So we'll take 1 minute to take the feedbacks and then call the industry delegates here for a photograph. So may I request you, Dr. VK, and the industry delegates to please also come forward for a photograph. And with this, thank you all once again and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you. It's a group photo, please. Sir. So you can also sit here and maybe others will join me behind.
I would like to stand with everyone. No special thing.
Bharat? Industry delegates, kindly come forward for a group photo. Ma'am, I'll ask. All DPHI, you are requested to be in the brainstorm